Hello, this is Greg House on Green Greg's coming to you on the 23rd of January 22. Time on deck is 16:25, 100 hours Central Standard Time. I'm sitting on a log and it finally moved. I was pushing down the hard it was holding. We'll show you this in a minute. I'm here to talk to you today about supply chain issues and how they're going to bite us. For one, we know a lot of people are talking about the trucking strike lately. Well, it's not just a trucking strike. Our supply chain is perhaps facing even worse disruptions than it had a couple of years ago because of one, of course, the supply chain trucking strike you're hearing about, and we're going to talk about that. Two, the shutdown of factories in China because of their zero tolerance, as they put it, for the CCCP bug. And also for three, conflict in Europe especially, or anywhere right now, is going to severely disrupt the supply chain. Prices will go up, goods will be short, so we're going to go all into that. And this is why you need to know right now, you need to be going and buying extra food. You need to go and buy dried goods, canned goods, long-term stuff as much as you can. Buy it, get it now while the getting's good, because shortages are already starting to occur, and it's not going to get any better, my friends. It's not going to get any better. Subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell, and click all. Here's Freddy Kitty, about to knock my cell phone off the log. Yeah, I always got company here. So, subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell and click all. And by the way, right now I got a special, $150 off a 3-month supply of food that lasts 25 years, a full 2,000 calories a day, not the Starvation 800 calories that some of the competitors offer, food that gives you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's a deal that makes you a winner. $150 off a 3-month supply and $50 off a 4-week supply if you can't afford the other. So it makes it a lot more affordable to buy, guys, and right now is the time to stock up because we just don't know with all the things coming. That's what we got and how long we got. Isn't that right, kitty cat? So let's get all into this. By the way, I'm coming from the woods, and just as a standpoint of prep and survival, this little log I'm leaned up against would be a good place to put a survival lean-to if you had to do something in a hurry. It's not very high above ground, but that makes it easier for you to crawl in there and stay warm if you pile limbs up and leaves and stuff like that, if you had to have a quickie for sleeping. I see some good tinder over there for a fire and right there. And of course, an alternate use of this log would be a good fire log. Because it's very dry because it's been here for some time. And it's slowly over time been scooting down. I made it scoot a little bit, but I was pushing hard on it earlier and it didn't move. So that's a good tip to have. Things like that is what you need to know. And some critter here been gnawing on that. All right, so let's get back to it. And the cat's a minute attention. So there's three things that are threatening our supply chain right now. The trucker strike is that right now on the Canadian border, they're saying that if you don't have the jab, you can't cross the border. Well, that applies to about 20% of Canadian truck drivers and about 40% of American truck drivers. Now you may think, well, that's not much, Greg. But when you compare the fact we're already having supply chain issues, and the supply chain issues are already pretty darn severe, that's a big hit. And there's furthermore, other truckers talking about striking, so that's a huge hit. And what it's going to cause is shortages and increased prices. Now, what might you look for? You realize we get a lot of our lumber from Canada, and lumber prices have been going up. So the thing about plywood, 2x4s, if you're needing lumber, you better go get it now while you can. Get it while the getting's good. Get your 2x4s and plywood if you're going to be needing any soon, because you may not even get any, or if you do, it's going to be unbearably high. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe not all the lumber comes from, of course not. And we got a lot of lumber we grow here in the southeast, but it affects the whole total market. The whole total market gets impacted. When you got less available, the whole prices go up for the entire market. And if you got supplies coming domestically. And just think that Canada is a big source of that kind of lumber for us. So we're talking a huge hit. Anyway, cat don't seem to mind as long as he's got cat food and somebody to rub him, right? Importance of life is love. All right, so keep all that in mind. This little cat, these cats follow me everywhere out here. The trucker strike is going to be a big impact. China has a zero COVID policy, and they're shutting down whole cities when they get a case I mean, it's just crazy. They're making like they don't have any cases, but we know they are. This is all about really them getting ready for the Winter Olympics and trying to look good before the Winter Olympics hits. And it's going to bite them in the pocketbook and bite us too, because these shutdowns are going to vastly affect the supply chain, of course. Since we still use China as our world's manufacturing center, still, even after all this stuff, we're getting way too much stuff out of China. The companies supposedly have learned, well, we don't need to be resilient on one source like that, and they're talking moving it out. Well, all that hadn't happened yet. So we're still very, very, very dependent on China. And that is going to be a huge impact to the global supply chain. Another impact is going to be all these tensions in Europe. It's already an impact on us in terms of natural gas availability and prices. Well, if it goes kinetic, if there gets to be a war, you can expect sanctions to be slapped down and shortages to occur even more. There'll be sanctions and counter sanctions. War sometimes disrupts supply chains just directly from attacking pipelines and bridges and things like that. So you can expect huge impacts on the global supply chain as a result of that. Remember, it's all one marketplace. There may be localized effects to it, like Europe versus America, but still a lot of it is global in price. So in America, our food is grown and processed by tractors first that run up and down the field several times a year, clearing the field, planting the field, spraying it, harvesting it, and tilling the stalks back in, or cutting them, tilling them in. Tractors running back and forth across the field, spraying pesticides, herbicides, Roundup, whatever, over and over and over and over and over and over. So a lot of fuel costs, but the main cost is going to be, and what's really hurting the farmers, is the nitrogen-based fertilizers. Those have gone through the roof, and in some places are actually rationing them. So the prices have gone high, and it's really affecting the small farmers worse. So we can expect potential shortages and huge price increases because of that. They got to pass the cost on, guys. A lot of these farms are operating very marginally. So this is really going to impact the price of availability of food. That, along with potentially also, we may have a good dump of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere from this Tonga event. It's yet to remain to be seen how that's going to impact us, my friends. But they're talking like 200 metric. No, I'm not even going to cite it. I've seen the figure. It's not as much as Pinatubo, but I've seen other reasons why it may affect us as bad or worse than Pinatubo. So I'm seeing both sides of the story. But we stand to have potential impact from all these volcanoes, not just Tonga. There's a lot of other volcanoes going off. So expect that may cause late harvest. Late plantings, and we may see things that are planted get taken out by late frost. When the volcano Tambora went off, we had a year without a summer. It went off in 1816, and we had a year without a summer in 1817, excuse me. So these are the things we're looking at, guys. We may have a lot of price pressures on food and availabilities on food. That's why I tell everybody to grow your own. That's the best thing you do. Get seeds. Go on, check out my link to the Tree Market. Get the seeds now while they're available, while they're getting good, before the shortages spread to that too. So get your seeds. Get them now. Get all the food you can. Get it now. Get ready. And as long as I got food for this cat, he don't care, right? This is Freddy Cat, by the way. That's my name for him. Could have thought about naming him Mittens, because he's got those little mitten feet as opposed to boots. But he's a pet. So bear that in mind, friends. Stock up. Prep right now. Guys, our grid may go down. We may be in severe trouble. It could be a lot more than just supply chain issues. There may not even be a supply chain. If we get an EMP attack because of all the stuff going on, the supply chain will cease to exist. Then what you got is all you got. What you got and what you can barter for from others. That's it. And they may be trying to take what you got. So we got to start forming communities. We got to get that going again. And there'll be more on that soon. All right, my friends, that's all I'm going to say for now. Just bear in mind, we're in a dire strait. But at the very least that we can expect is huge, major, further continuances of and worse supply chain issues than we've seen already. That appears to be in the cards for 2022, no matter what we do. And if we have a full-blown war, guys, who knows? Even if America don't get directly involved, the sanctions can be rough. But if there's any chance that the adversaries think that we might get involved, if they put an EMP attack on us, supply chain over. That's it. What you got's all you got. I mean, we're going to lose a lot of people if that happens. It will be very scary, very ugly. Let's hope and pray that don't happen. Remember, there's good people in every race, creed, color, from every town, city, hamlet, and every country on earth. But it's organizations that stir us up against each other that causes all these problems. And if everybody had unconditional love like these little kitty cats, we wouldn't have any trouble in the world, would we? So he don't care what color I am, and I don't care what color he is. He's a kitty cat, right? And you love him for that reason. So keep that in mind, guys. As light dispels dark, love dispels hate. And there's the answer. So I got to shine your love light in the world. And everybody take care, and goodbye.